Well, thank you, friends, for watching that movie with me. I think it hit me in a funny way. I laughed a lot, but also I think it moved me in some important ways. There were some real through lines that I think would be good to discuss. And I think it'd be good to discuss on a podcast, like right now. I'm actually ready.
Oh, you want to do Wanderlust on the show?
Yeah, I want to do Wanderlust, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Wanderlust, the
right.
movie.
The movie Wanderlust.
On the show Contextual Deviants.
That we do.
That we do.
Right.
Yeah. I want to do it like I want to do it. Like, and you know what? I think I can sense your hesitancy. So just suck on it if you want.
Well, we'll think about it.
You can, you can suck on it.
I mean, we'll definitely mull it over. We'll weigh our options. I'm sure that one could be added to the rotation and
suck on it.
I mean, we'll for sure ponder.
We'll ponder
the
suck?
option.
Suck. Suck on it. You can suck on it.
Running faucets, kill outfit. It's futuristic, like Carnegie the Magnificent. Rewind your VCR, rewind your cassette. Nintendo pilots, flying up ahead. Captain's log, John Luke, Bogard. Boomerang, sea of life, the weapon covered shine. Out on your street tonight. Don't matter how loud you gotta shout it. Out on your street tonight.
I saw a picture of an unmustachioed Stan Lee.
Yeah, before he got hair plugs too.
Yeah, that really fucked me up.
Yeah, here, I actually have it saved because it...
In that same thread, Mike, actually, your roommate, shared a clip of pre-Larry the Cable Guy, like the comedian. I can't remember his name, but like what he did before. Like
Lawrence Ferengeti.
That's Stan Lee, 1966.
Oh, no.
It doesn't look like him at all.
No, it's not. That's just some guy.
It's just some fucking guy.
That's just a guy. It's just a different
crazy.
guy.
That's
not
crazy.
Stan Lee.
That's why your look is so important, because you go from being just some guy to motherfucking Stan Lee.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that made him is the mustache.
Well, and the plugs.
Kind
of. Slash
and
wig,
them's glasses.
And them's glasses.
And them's
They're
glasses.
so nice.
Yeah.
His nice glasses.
Nice glasses.
I wonder, like, the picture you just showed me, if you asked me, like, hey, what does this person do for a living? I would say they work for the CIA. Like, they are the most nondescript, low-level government employee, but, like, in the CIA. So they're, like, trying to be mid-level, but they're still low-level. Just the most boring person that you can picture.
I would say he runs a crew of door-to-door knife salesmen.
Knife salesman. Wait, like,
or just like or vacuum salesman.
I like the idea of a crew of door-to-door knife sales.
And he runs the crew.
Well, they answer to somebody.
Yeah,
that sounds more fun than that picture. I want to be on that crew. Wait, are you talking? I need to know. Big knife, little knife, kitchen knife, butter knife. What kind of knife salesman are we talking
baby,
about?
all the
My
knives you
favorite
need.
Dr. Seuss book.
It's
All the
just
knives
a
you need
catch-all.
in the kitchen knives, but
Yeah,
all the ones you
Kitchen
need.
knife mares.
and it's
Yes.
and the name of the business, of course, because it's door-to-door knife salesman, is Knife to Meet You.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, shit. That's perfect.
It's actually pretty
Yeah.
good. You're welcome, Stanley. Come back,
Come back and start selling knives, Stanley.
like you
finally
were
got it.
meant to do.
Yeah.
We finally got it.
You never got
don't
the
have
chance
to do
in real
comics
life.
anymore. You can finally sell
You
knives
don't
like
have
you
to do comics
always wanted.
You can finally find your purpose.
What is the point of your life, Stanley?
Welcome to Contextual Deviants. My name is Christian Hagen. Each episode we watch a movie and then we talk about it through a series of randomly generated critical context given to us via our contextual computer. And ladies and gentlemen, if this sounds a little bit fresher to you, that's because me and the boys are all in the same room for the first time in over a year. We've been recording remotely, but now we've all got the shots. We're all fully vaxxed up and we can sit in the same room together safely and securely, and I could not be happier to be sharing this moment with my two best friends and co-host hosts, Misters Matthew Bond.
I'm feeling the warmth and mirth.
And David Gutchie.
I thought you were talking about how I had showered for the first time in a really long
Yeah.
time and how fresh it feels?
Yeah, how'd that go?
Like, oh, I mean, I think you know. Like, you can tell.
Because I was there.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was nice. I think a lot of people, they don't like washing their bodies, but I'm here to tell you it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, most people don't like showers,
Yeah.
question mark?
Everybody's hating on showers these days, but I tell you what, put that water on your body a lot.
It's just cancel culture coming after the showers, man.
You can't even clean your body anymore without somebody knocking on your window and telling you not to shower anymore because someone bad took a shower once.
Man, the left,
Tell you what.
the
I think
left
it's
is
'cause
canceling showers.
I think that's because you're showering in front of a window.
Oh, you're right. And it's
Yeah.
someone else's house. And the
Yeah.
person knocking the window is the police. And they are
Yes.
telling me that I'm going to jail.
We've tracked it.
Cancel culture
Cancel culture, yes.
is what I'm saying.
And as you probably have guessed by now, as I said, it's a movie podcast. So what we're doing this week is we're talking about a movie, and we're going to be doing it with a bunch of different contexts. And the movie we are discussing this episode is none other than 2012's classic absurdist comedy, Wanderlust, starring Paul Rudd, Jennifer Aniston, and a whole cast of crazy and kooky characters.
So true.
As written and directed by David Wayne, along with Ken Marino. It is a very, very silly little story. It's about a couple who fails out in New York because they both lose their home and they're poor, I guess. And then they wind up living in this commune with a bunch of hippies, and it gets really weird and fun.
That's so true. That is a good way to sum it up. I think another way, though, to sum it up would be to read the first sentence of this IMDb review. Of this
Right.
movie.
Oh, yeah. We haven't. We could also do one sentence summaries.
We could. Well, here's mine.
Okay. Yours. Well, I mean, it's written by somebody else, so it's plagiarism. But I'll let you have it.
It's fine. Hey, they can come after
I won't
me.
grade you on this.
Hey, Tearbear505, you can come get me if you want.
Hair Bear.
Yeah, Tearbear. That's their name. Personal friend Tearbear says, this movie has just as many funny scenes as The Hangover.
Totally.
Oh,
It's a great description.
And the best way to figure out whether a movie's good is, one, to count how many funny scenes it has, but two, to compare it to The Hangover, just period. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what, that is the hallmark of quality.
I'm not going to lie. That sentence sent a chill up my spine.
Yeah. I think the whole room got colder.
It's a cold take.
But I think it really does sum up why this movie is worth seeing. Is it has at least as many funny scenes as The Hangover.
You know, there was a time in this country where that was like a legit selling point. That would have legitimately turned some people into the theater.
Dang.
At one time, I would have been one of those people.
Yes,
Wow.
I saw The Hangover 3 or 4 times in theaters, and I fully
busted.
regret that time now. Like,
Yeah,
I don't feel good about it. At the time, I loved it, but I don't feel good about that version of myself.
That's okay.
We all have things about ourselves that we don't like.
And, of them, that one's not so bad.
No, yeah, that one's not so bad. Some of the other stuff I've done.
Oh,
Yeah. I was going to say, compared to what?
Yeah. Of the things that you've done specifically, that one's fine. No, don't worry about that one.
Yeah, I don't want to get canceled. So
You got a lot more
past
skeletons
history.
in that little.
Oh, so many skeletons.
Oh my God.
So many
Halloween,
skeletons. I
baby.
know nothing about no skeletons. Hey, do you guys want to talk about Wanderlust in different contexts?
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude.
Did we want to talk about? Was there anything else we needed to do before then?
What?
If there was, then I'm forgetting.
Good.
Yeah.
Fucking good. Let's just jump right in, babies.
Okay, baby.
Your babies now.
The Nitpicky Realism Corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, first, welcome back to the voice of the contextual computer. We've missed the sound of the dulcet tones of this robot. The Nitpicky Realism Corner. We're gonna nitpick the realism in Wanderlust.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, this movie was, I would say, pretty realistic.
I mean, it's more grounded than a lot of the
Yeah.
movies we do.
Honestly, yeah.
As far as things that can happen, well,
The lake kind of comes to mind.
Yeah.
Cut to.
in the pond, in the lake. No, don't cut
God,
to.
that was such a good bit because of the way it paid off when they drove the truck into it the second time. They're like, no, I looked away for a second. Did you see that? Oh, it's a pretty easy mistake to make.
You know, hindsight being 2020, I probably wouldn't have done it the same way.
Oh my God, so good. But walk me through it. So I think that is, we can say, yes, that is unrealistic.
Pretty
the
unrealistic.
car just goes into the lake and nobody does anything about it.
Sure.
I also think that it's unrealistic that I don't think that commune, or should I say intentional community, was very accessible to Alan Alda, and yet he got around everywhere. I know those little cars don't get around super good on anything but pavement, but he was off-roading all day long. I don't buy it.
It's a good point.
I was like kind of bothered by like there weren't ramps anywhere. How was he actually getting out of that house? Like that was something they did not think about at all when designing that character in a chair. I was like, why?
That's a good point.
Why didn't you build this into the movie? So like legitimate nitpicky realism corner. I was thinking of joke ones, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's actually a real thing.
Yeah.
That never happens on this show.
And it doesn't matter at all to the movie. But
That's good.
they used it more as a prop than as a way of thinking about how his character would actually exist in that. And again, it's a comedy, so they weren't, they weren't doing all that work, but it's something.
That's definitely something.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that horse could have gotten in that house.
Oh, that I don't have a problem with.
You love that.
Oh, I bet that horse could just walk in and out wherever
Maybe
it
it
pleases.
is always in the house.
I don't know if you've ever tried to keep a horse out of the house, but once a horse wants in, a horse is gonna get
And
in.
with no doors, no doors.
They're
all
like
horse.
bats.
Happens
you
all
know,
the time.
the smallest gap.
No, that's true. They're kind of like squid too, or like an octopus where they can just kind of fit through any space.
What other animals are horses like?
I would say bats and squid for sure.
Squid for
the
sure.
big
Yeah,
two.
the big two.
Definitely. When
This goes
people
back. This goes back to our conversation about the different types of animals.
if you can scare a bat, you can scare a horse. And you know what's fun is in this movie, there was a sequence of associations like that, and it made me very happy. So listeners, if you enjoyed my Harry's Horse Emporium or whatever the fuck that joke was at the beginning of last episode, you are going to love when Justin Theroux as Seth says, you kill a fly, and then you kill a rat, and then you kill a cat, and then a dog, and then a soldier.
I love that. And I support the troops.
Oh yeah,
He
that's
had
right.
to know that was the wrong.
That was definitely a
Read
huge
the
mistake.
room, George. But anyway, I loved that on a personal level because I love when people extrapolate like that wildly when they shouldn't. Very funny.
Absolutely.
What's another name?
Honestly, otherwise, I'm having a really hard time.
Yeah, I don't know enough about ayahuasca to know how much that is bullshit.
Oh yeah,
That's totally fair.
yeah. That's a tough one.
Damn.
I do think that in general, when people have talked about ayahuasca to me, which has been people that have done it that I've known, like two of them, and so like very secondhand, it sounds like that's not too far off, but it's a lot more like you just feel connected with nature and you hear stuff, and less like LSD trip, like they sort of portrayed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I am sure the experience is vast because it is a very psychedelic thing. So like, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one.
Do tell.
George, I think, in real life, would have absolutely had sex with Catherine Hahn's character.
Yes.
That's one that you brought up off mic.
Yes, and I think that's so important. So he's got that big, long penis. He's got that big, long tirade almost about his own dick and how he's going to put it in, and his dick is so good, and all that stuff in front of the mirror. And we all love it. It's the best part of the movie. It's so fucking funny.
It's iconic.
And then Catherine Hahn joins him on that level with that same energy, and he doesn't.
Yeah, and it's Catherine Hahn.
And it's Catherine Hahn.
It's Catherine Hahn, guys.
Catherine Hahn.
I mean, she does her best to be unlikable in this movie, but even it's still Catherine Hahn.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yeah,
I would still be in porn.
yeah. And honestly,
When it lies on my face. That noise.
she really does such a good job. She's so funny. She's so good.
fucking funny.
And so is Paul Rudd. And I want them to have sex, and I don't care who knows it.
Yeah.
I
In
want
real
them
life.
as people.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as actors.
You guys, welcome to Nitpicky Catherine Hahn Appreciation Corner.
Honestly,
Yeah, we could change it.
if we every time a Catherine Hahn movie comes up on this show, nitpicky Catherine Hahn corner.
Yes, just like, why did everyone mistreat Catherine Hahn in this movie? They should have been better.
She's making hummus for everyone.
Hummus. Yikes. That okay.
You might
there-
smell tahini. I was just making some hummus.
I do think that there are some ways that their logic is inconsistent, but I think that's part of the faux, like mostly white intentional community world, is that they say that they share everything and they say that they don't live anywhere and they say possessions aren't real and money doesn't buy anything. Like that sort of shit.
Literally nothing.
No, literally money buys nothing. No, I'm telling you, not metaphorically, literally money buys nothing. It's so good. That sort of stuff, like, obviously was shown to be sort of hypocritical in a lot of ways, but I do think there are some even littler ways that just kind of bug me on a semantic level. Like when they're like, no, this isn't mine, it's ours. But then everybody keeps saying your all the time because it was written by people that aren't a part of that kind of intentional community that has been brainwashed into thinking that everything is everyone's. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is like contractions in historical movies for people that hate that they're like, there was no it's. People didn't say don't in 1200. That really bothers some people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you can be bothered by that if you want. And I feel like I got just a taste of that in this movie where I was like, no, that's not logically consistent. And then I felt really bad about myself. And I was like, I'm not going to feel that
David,
anymore.
never feel bad about yourself.
No, exactly. I stopped. It's cool.
Oh, thank God.
We're good. Yeah.
No.
It's that easy.
If you ever
Hey,
feel bad about yourself, you should feel bad about it.
That's true. Guilt about guilt, definitely cool.
The best
not
thing.
the first
it's the
kind.
best thing for a human being to have.
Oh my God.
Yeah, welcome to the religious experience.
Oh no, you're right though. Wow.
I'm sorry for bringing that.
Oh shit. The baby being born. It doesn't just happen like that. It doesn't just start coming out of your body and
Well,
then it's out.
When the moon is luminous enough.
Oh, that's true though. She was up there being luminous.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I have heard reports from women who have had multiple children that after the first, they can be that easy.
And
they can come out
she
that.
did yell, I've had multiple children.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, is I don't think she does not seem the type to. She certainly isn't taking care of them if she has others. So I don't think she's had a child before. So it probably would not have been that fast and easy.
But we also don't know her backstory before she went to the community.
Exactly, true.
That is true.
And who were the kids that were there? There was at least one.
Yeah, he
Who was
born the
that
deed.
kid? He burned the deed to the commune. But who was that kid? Whose kid was that kid?
That's a good point. That is the first time in the movie that kid shows up.
Which is a real problem. Actually,
Yeah, it seemed like an
who actually is
editing
this?
issue.
Is this? I thought it was like a forest child.
I always assumed it was what's her face's kid, the one that says you blind it. What was her name again?
Marjorie or something like that. Oh God, I love her.
I just assumed that, but based on nothing other than she just interacts with him the most.
Yeah, well, at all. She's the only one who talks to this child.
Eva
He
Carey.
thinks I didn't hear you, but
Carrie
I did.
Kenny Silver.
Kathy. Kathy is that character's name.
Kathy.
Yep. Very good. Very fun.
Very good, very fun.
Kathy maybe, but that kid had red hair, and so did the person that gave birth. So
that's
maybe
true.
we've nitpicked our way into some truth in that we have discovered the mother of that mystery child by going on an adventure of that's not how babies are born, but maybe they are if you're real if you're real practiced.
Yeah, maybe she left a bad relationship and met Jordan Peele's character and went to a commune and
commune.
Man, I am really bad at remembering character names on this.
That's
but
okay.
It's
Well,
because
there's
all
just
the
so
actors
many.
are so ingrained in my head now because they all went on to become really famous.
Well, because a lot of with a lot of comedies, especially big cast comedies like this, a lot of it's down to who the actors are and our relationships with them.
Yep.
And our understandings of their sort of Alan Alda in this movie. God love him. He is so fucking funny. But there are moments where it's if you weren't Alan Alda, I probably wouldn't laugh about this. But because you're Alan Alda, it's fucking hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm. Carvin, that was his character.
Yeah, Carvin.
They call him the lion.
The
and stuff,
lion.
so-
The lion roars.
Oh my God.
Fucking Seth.
So beautiful. Okay, what else is wrong with this movie from a scientific perspective?
We've drilled some holes in this movie already. I think this movie's going to sink. It's a sinking ship after what we've done.
Yeah. We built a casino on this movie. We broke that ground. We poked those holes, and
You would have done the same thing for $11,000.
oh my God, the amount of times that he says $11,000. So fun. So much money.
So much.
Mm.
Yeah. I was going to say nitpicky realism is that he can't get a Miami condo for that amount of money, but also that's the joke.
Nitpicky realism, actually, though. He knows what CD players are, but also thinks that all of that other stuff is still modern technology and knows that a CD player, like by looking at it in a car, is a CD player. No way.
That's a fair point.
He doesn't.
I think there were compact discs in the early 90s.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
he references
doesn't-
the Walkman at one point.
Yeah, but he's like all over the map with that shit. Like I think
Yeah,
that's
Nintendo Power Glove.
either a bit
Power glove.
like, which maybe because he is revealed to maybe be a little bit of a double crosser, maybe a little bit of a player of games. But like there's no way by sight, if he still thinks fax machines are in wide use, that he knows that that's a CD player in a car. Like no way.
They put CD players in cars now?
Like that was a funny line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way he knows what that is. If
fair.
if he thinks that Walkmans
take
are
that.
the most modern CD player. Yeah, no way.
I'll swallow that.
Unless he had time to read compact disc like in like tiny little letters as he's trying to attack George, which
I'll suckle on that.
I think they were
Oh,
more.
Wait.
Oh,
You'll what?
I'll suckle on that.
Wasn't it suck?
It suck. I'll suck
Okay,
on it.
okay. Because that line is amazing. And I
good.
want us to do justice to that beautiful line.
suck on it.
Suck on it. Yeah, the best part is he's like, yeah, I'll give it some thought. And Seth just kind of shakes his head. Suck on it.
This isn't like a nitpicky realism thing, but I have been racking my brain trying to think of how the revelation that a character is in Washington, D.C. is an explosive twist in a story.
Funny. He's in Washington.
He's a creature of the
He's a
Beltway.
creature of
That's
the
the
Beltway.
best. Oh my god.
It's the best because every character that learns it repeats it like it's a twist. And we're supposed to understand.
So good. Fucking astounding.
He's a creature of the Beltway. Wow. Yep, that was it. So maybe that's not as much nitpicky realism as it is just like hats off to that joke.
Oh, it's such a good joke, but I've been trying desperately to think of how it could work. Just because I think if you could crack that, it would be kind of fun. Yeah, like an egg.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You guys want to move on to another context?
I want
do.
to so bad. Yes, please.
Pick a director with a distinct style and imagine if they made this movie.
All right, guys. We have to pick a director
One.
with a distinct style.
Yes.
And just think about this movie if they'd made it. And, you know, we always have a hard time thinking of directors, but boys, I just thought of one.
Uh-oh.
What if the movie Wanderlust was directed by Ari Aster? Director of Midsummer, as we've done on this podcast before, and also Hereditary.
Holy shit.
He's only made 2 movies, but I think it's
Holy
it's safe to
shit.
say he's got a pretty distinct style.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Midsummer is not a not funny movie.
There's a lot of funny
There's
stuff.
some
in
funny
Midsommar.
stuff in
Actually,
that.
the last time we watched it, it was like we watched the director's cut.
Oh, shit.
Because Bond was we were going to show you that Bond was able to get a copy of the director's cut. It was very exciting. 10 extra minutes.
And 10 extra laughs.
I mean, it wasn't super necessary,
I
but
thought it was more than 10
it
minutes.
was like 11 actually. I looked
was
it
it?
up online. Yeah.
But
It was 11, so you're right.
but yeah,
I'm
I don't know.
pretty sure it was more than 10 minutes.
It for me it absorbed me into the world even more, I felt.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
Yeah, it didn't add that much, but what was there was good. So
Yeah.
it's not like, you know, it's still a great movie.
I like that. So like but it isn't completely oppressive and without its light moments.
Yes.
Right.
And so I'm very interested in this idea.
So
What's your first thought? Like what made you think, yeah, Ari Aster, this is
So well, obviously the commune aspect of it,
Of course.
sort of gives like Wanderlust
a couple going to a commune
Exactly.
when they're having a hard time.
Exactly.
It's basically the same movie.
It's like
is what you're
it's like
saying.
that, but like a really, really fucked up version of Wanderlust is basically what Midsummer is.
so Malin Ackerman makes Paul Rudd his very special drink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes. So yes, everything would be shot very. There's a lot more long takes without much dialogue. I But what I think distinguishes Ari Aster more than almost any other director is sound. He's a very sound-focused director.
Which is part of why he's just one of my favorites from all the only 2 movies that he's made.
Exactly, but like each of them,
incredible.
There's a sound that you hear and you know what movie it's from. You know, you've got the clicking sound in Hereditary, which woof. And then you know the in Midsummer, along with a couple other ones, honestly. But the
sound of a person's skull being crushed by a big hammer.
The sound of Florence Pugh crying in a way that like fully snaps me in half.
Yeah.
Oofta.
So what would that be in Wanderlust, though?
Well, the ayahuasca scene would be terrifying.
Oh yeah,
it would be very uncomfortable.
That's another reason I thought of Ari Aster is because there's multiple scenes of them doing drugs in Midsummer.
That's a good point. Here's the question, though. I think it's very important to establish now.
Yeah.
Is Ari Aster remaking this movie with the rest of the production crew?
See, this is the question.
Is it still a comedy?
Right.
Or is it now an Ari Aster, a little light but mostly oppressive and scary movie that he gets to control completely?
Because I don't think it's impossible to make this into like an art house horror movie with its premise.
Yeah, totally.
Its central premise is pretty, you know, 2 sort of yuppie types who fail at what they're doing, decide to get away from it all, and it turns out the place that they get away from it to is really messed up.
Pretty isolated and bad.
Isolated
and which was true in a way, but Seth would have turned out to be a maniac killer person instead of just a person that wanted $11,000.
Yep.
He basically would have been the guy from Mandy.
Yeah, he would have. Oh, he would have been good as that guy too. God, give me Justin Theroux cut of Mandy.
Yeah. Although God. I do love the guy who plays the cult leader
good.
in Mandy. He's so fucking funny in that movie. Not funny,
well,
but just like
he is kind of funny.
The voice he chooses is very funny.
That movie is another movie that's like, this movie's nasty and disgusting and funny.
Yeah,
like funny.
There's funny moments in it for sure.
Anyway.
Go
watch Mandy. It's great.
So Ari Aster, those are the only real things I can think of. As for like whether he could do it as a comedy, I'd be really curious to see what like an absurdist comedy from him would be, because he already has already demonstrated an ability to sort of blend semi-supernatural stuff with natural stuff in a way that can be kind of jarring, but also like it's part of his style.
Yeah, true.
Now, what would Ken Marino's character be like? That whole story be like, given that being at his place is worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the Christian of this movie for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I do actually think that it would be more insidious. Like he's an obvious joke from the first minute he appears on screen. He's like, I am a punching bag character, and I am putting every line that I hate into my mouth. Like that is
I
what
believe
Dan Marino
he introduces
does.
himself by saying, "Ricky Dicky."
Yeah, I've got a long dicky.
Give me licky licky. Don't hate me because it's extra thicky.
Yep, that's what it is.
It's deeply upsetting.
So many things that just immediately establish
if you
him as a
kept
trash
all
can.
of his lines exactly the same, but didn't deliver them in a way that like delivered it without, he already is delivering it without self-awareness, but you put that character in like a horror movie and keep him pretty much the same, and it still works. It's just more oppressive.
You know what Ari Aster maybe does? He brings him along.
Oh, Jesus.
He comes to the commune, and he dies like the funny guy dies in Midsummer. Like that character gets taken out early, and the audience sort of breathes a sigh of relief. Like we're all like, "Yeah,
I mean,
it's cool.
ideally that would be
we
that would be the
didn't
best
need
case
to listen
scenario.
to
He gets
this
murdered
guy
in a-
say racist things anymore. That it's fine. We can not do that.
He gets murdered in a porta potty.
Yeah. Ooh, irony. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Irony.
but I do think that would be an option. Like that he would be unwelcome and make it all more uncomfortable on a different level. Like there's multiple levels of discomfort.
Well, you can keep him honestly the way he is because he makes a great contrast with the commune and explains why they're so interested in the commune to begin with. Why they're so why they embrace it so much, considering how fucking terrible things are at Ken Marino's house.
Yeah.
Rick's house.
No, it's Ken Marino. It said Ken Marino as himself in the credits. I saw it. You can't trick me.
Yeah. So I think that could still work just in terms of like a functional in a functional way.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it would be a funny or scary movie. I don't know what that would look like. Honestly, the thing about Wanderlust and other comedies like it from this era is they all kind of have a similar look and feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Marvel movies, but comedy.
Yeah, exactly. And
You
that's
just
the
kinda get how
Apatow
they're
touch.
shot.
I won't deny that Judd Apatow had a lot
Yep,
to do with
sure
that.
did.
Yeah.
He affected the way that comedies were shot and edited together for about a decade at least.
Damn. It's like 10 years.
That's true. That is what that
Yeah.
is.
Then the big studio comedy kind of went away.
Yeah, we don't get many of them anymore, which is a huge bummer.
Yeah.
They kind of stopped making big budget comedies. It's a bummer. But so part of it is because this movie is also part of that though, because I don't believe this movie made its money back at the box office.
No,
I
think
had-
it's flopped.
Not heard of it, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Because like it wasn't small. I was a little less on the grid in 2011 and 2012. I was living in Iowa, not tapped into the media scene as much, but like I wasn't living in a county.
Yeah, Iowa, they don't have movies there.
Yeah, they don't have movies. They have Korn. You watch Korn. That's
Exactly.
it. That's the whole thing.
The band Korn is constantly playing in Iowa.
And it's awesome. They rule. I love Korn and everyone in the band. So like on a certain level, it makes sense that I didn't hear about it. But like I had not heard of it until y'all brought it up and said, "Hey, let's do this one. It's underrated and cool." And I was like, "What is this?" Like,
It's hard to remember. I have to remind myself how many of the comedies that I love are niche. I think our sense of humor isn't as universal as we'd like. It's actually when I was watching, there's a behind the scenes documentary for Stella, which was the TV show that David Wayne, Michael Showalter, and Michael Ian Black did in the early 2000s on Comedy Central. It lasted one season. Very absurdist, very weird. I loved it. But they were doing sort of like a retrospective, and they were talking about how they thought they had come up with a comedy that would appeal to literally everyone. They're like, we finally found a way to the broadest possible comedic spectrum, and it is really not like it's broad, but it's not like they thought it was
weird.
And I think that's something with humor that it's almost universal. It's like we all kind of are like, why do you not think if someone doesn't laugh at something you think is funny, you're like, well, how do you not laugh?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It tickles me so.
It tickles me
Why
so.
does it not tickle as you?
It tickles me so.
That's like I ordered a stuffed animal that sings for my kid, but it was from overseas and it arrived and it's not a tickle me Elmo, it's a tickle as me so.
It tickles me so.
They almost got it. I really like Ari Aster. Are there any other ones that we think like that might be like a fun one? Because I think it could be a really good oppressive. I don't know if Ari Aster could. I'd be curious if he could
really
direct
be interested
a comedy.
to see. But see,
Like-
that's the other thing is that like it's kind of anonymously filmed. I don't want to disparage
Yeah,
David
no.
Wayne because I love his work.
But you're right.
But it's kind of like it feels kind of like
the cinematography is supposed to
exactly.
not
It's-
exist.
It's a David Wayne movie in the script.
The script is the focus.
Yep.
The script is always the focus in his movies, I think, as far as what I've seen, which is all of them. So having a distinctive director on this, but also I don't know, I can't think of an absurdist comedy of this type that has been directed by like a director, like the kind of thing where you'd see somebody who really knows their film stuff.
Usually ends up being really dry humor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's an overlap of like this kind of it's not cheesy comedy, but it's like earnestly comedy genred comedy.
Yeah.
I think like it goes in the comedy section of a movie store.
Oh, absolutely.
Which don't exist. A Blockbuster,
Yeah.
kids.
Kids, you know the blockbusters.
Like that kind of comedy. Artists don't make those. And artists are the ones that like want specific kinds of cinematography in their films. And that is untrue. Artists do make comedies. Let me be very clear.
Right.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. But like I think that's part of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, like, because even thinking back to a movie like The Princess Bride, like, again, anybody could, it didn't have to be Rob Reiner directing that. Like, it looks like anybody.
It just looks like a regular movie.
Yeah.
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 Huh, weird.
So I'd be really curious to see what someone with like a take, like a look, an eye.
Do you think that's purposeful for comedy, just to make it more easy to get in, like for the audience to just kind of
It's possible.
relate and all that?
Yeah, it's totally possible.
Yes. If you believe that the crux of your comedy is your actors and your script, absolutely yes. If you believe that cameras can be used as jokes as well, which I do, no. Like, absolutely, you can use zooms, you can use angles, you can, like, fisheye stuff. Like, there are ways. People do it. But I can't think of a lot of good examples.
I think the closest I can think of is Scott Pilgrim.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pilgrim came to mind as well, because they really did a lot of extra stuff to make
Also
it
a flop.
funny.
Unfortunately. But
not
also,
wrong.
but actually what that makes me think of though is like, I was thinking like, I was trying to think of other big budget comedies and I kept thinking of Deadpool, but it's an action movie.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Scott Pilgrim is
Yep.
also,
It
it's
is
a comedy
an
that's also
action
kind of an action movie
and a
because there's fight
romance a little
scenes, like
bit, and-
at least seven different fight scenes.
Yeah, there's a lot of fight scenes. It's weird to think of that as an action movie because when I think of action movie, I don't think of that movie, but you're absolutely right. That's its genre.
Yeah.
Weird.
When is Scott Pilgrim going to be a Mortal Kombat character?
Yeah,
Oh
come
my
on.
God, I would totally play that.
Oh, it'd be so good.
It'd be so much fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scott.
Give me Knives Chow in Mortal Kombat.
Stab, stab.
She could be like a Melina, like palette swap.
She just eats somebody's head.
Oh,
Guys, you want to move on to another context?
yeah.
Make it a musical.
Hey, guys. We have to make a Wanderlust musical.
We get to make a Wanderlust musical. You take
yes.
that the
I'm
fuck
so sorry, David. You're right. You know what? You're a real glass half full kind of guy, and I appreciate that about you. We get to make a musical out of Wanderlust.
There is a scene in the Bizarro cut, which is,
Do you want to explain what the Bizarro Kid is for the
yeah,
listeners?
it's this movie but completely alternate takes. So there's nothing from the original that's in this one, and it's framed through like the lens of Alan Alda telling the story basically, or like recounting this.
That's such a good idea.
And it's wonderful. But in the Bizarro cut, they do have a scene where they sing a chunk of a Les Mis song around the fire.
Oh, because he has that shirt.
Yep, that
Oh my
scene.
God.
They end up, yeah.
It's honestly amazing how long it goes and how many of them, and they do, because Les Mis, it's an opera, so there's like dialogue that is sung, and they're basically doing that, like
Yeah.
conversational stuff. It's
so good.
really weird. And
Catherine
awkward.
Hahn's, her like high pitch, like, it's so good.
Wow. I got to see it.
So we could, that scene could be put back in.
Yeah, just,
Yes.
just leave that in.
Just leave that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Of course, it might remind people of a better musical, which could be, it's a risky gambit to put another musical's music in your musical.
Yes, but
Yes, but
I think that's an opportunity. You make a comedy musical that parodies other musicals within itself. That's funny. Like that's
true.
I mean, there's ground
that is
for jokes
kind of
right
what
there.
Gilbert and Sullivan did in the Pirates of Penzance with several songs from the HMS Pinafore.
Uh-huh. See, and there's precedent, baby. That's
There's
all I'm
precedent.
saying.
In the case of Gilbert and Sullivan v. Gilbert and Sullivan.
Oh yeah, the old there's there's man versus man, there's man versus nature, and then there's Gilbert and Sullivan v. Gilbert and Sullivan, the four stories.
And Kramer v. Kramer.
Oh yeah, and Kramer v. Kramer, and just Kramer from Seinfeld on his own as a solo show.
Yeah, and Godzilla v. Kong.
Oh yeah, and Godzilla v. Kong.
I can't wait to hear the Supreme Court's ruling in that case.
Oh man, for real.
Brown versus Board of Education versus Kong. Whoever wins.
Yeah, it's a tournament.
The youth of America lose.
It's a Supreme Court tournament style. Like,
Tournament. It's a tournament bracket. Oh my God. Supreme Court should decide cases by tournament bracket.
Well-
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds
just
great.
like whoever wins this case has to go up against the next guy.
And it's just this team and their case versus this team and their
Yep.
case. Good
These
Lord.
4 cases, these 4 laws, 3 of them will be overturned. 1 of them will be upheld. Who will win?
March Madness. Good Lord. That's
Let's spice up the Supreme Court,
That's
guys.
an incredible idea. I think we need a way to expedite and spice up the Supreme Court, and I think this is it.
Yeah.
Just bulk cases.
Also, some sexier robes. Get them some like sexier outfits.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see
If
some
there's-
ankles.
Yeah, if there's anything I know about justice, it's that it needs to be objectified. Like, just really give us the flesh.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you
what
for co-signing this.
That's
statement.
what we need.
We need the flesh.
Justice is only blind, so she can't see it staring.
That okay.
What? She's always sculpted hot.
What? She's always
What?
sculpted
Look.
hot.
What?
You ever seen an ugly Lady Justice?
I don't know.
Have
Probably.
you? Have you?
This is just Dan
we're making
Marino's
a musical
character.
about
Yep, sorry.
Wanderlust.
Wait a minute. Is
yeah.
his name Dan Marino?
Who?
Ken Marino?
Ken Marino. I said Dan Marino.
You sure did.
I was like, have I never noticed that he has the same name as that famous Miami Dolphins quarterback? And the answer is no, I never noticed it because it isn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the star of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Fuck, man, Dan Marino.
star.
I do love Dan Marino. I also think Ken Marino is pretty cool. All right. Anyway,
Speaking of Ken Marino, though, I feel like Ken Marino would do like a 90s gangster rap kind of thing.
oh fuck,
He would 100% do.
I already hate it.
Yeah, it's
His son,
awful.
his shitty son would get a verse.
Oh, his shitty son would totally.
I liked his
he would
shitty
try
son.
to give his shitty son a verse, and then his shitty son would be like, "Fuck off, Dad! I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking do that."
Fuck, are you supposed to?
But it just
be
happens to fit the rhythm.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it would be terrible, and it would be the worst song in the show.
I have a counter proposal that involves both of those ideas.
Okay.
What if instead Ken Marino's song is like douchey country rock, and his son has a
sure.
rap verse?
There we go.
Okay, here we
about
go.
how it's like, oh, you think I'm cool now because I'm bigger than I was when I was 5. Like spit.
Yeah.
Like he's basically, it's a diss track to parents everywhere, thinking like, oh yeah, big deal. I'm not 5 anymore. Like that, but a verse on a country song.
And they try to get Marissa to do a verse, and she just can't be bothered.
Yep,
She's
can't
no,
do it.
no.
She's
God.
too busy drinking.
She's
that
too drunk
Poor
to sing.
character. Fuck me.
I know.
Who is this?
But
Was
she-
a very good bit though.
Yeah, but she does. But hey, she winds up
She
on Real
gets
Housewives.
it. I love that for her. She just tells it like it is. Really, the everyman of this movie. It's Marissa, the truth teller.
the audience surrogate of the film.
Okay, so that's a really good one. I really like that because there's nothing.
I mean, I don't like it.
What? No. But there's
I would hate to
nothing
listen to
that makes me hate a character more than having a song that sounds exactly like I'm picturing that sounding, and also being like that character,
Like something
is
that could
in this
play at the
movie.
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah. No thanks.
Over any talking volume.
Well, yeah. Oh Christ.
Far too loud. Okay, that's good. What could be another, like there's so many group scenes in this movie that I think there'd be some really good ensemble songs.
Absolutely. Well, I think when he tries to do the cover of Two Princes by the Spin Doctors, which is top 5 most uncomfortable scenes in a movie for me. Like I can't. I
that
can't
hurt a
handle
lot.
it.
When he had to try to do the solo, that was what was uncomfortable. Like him covering it and everybody kind of not being super into it, and then Sexy Seth playing his amazing solo. That was kind of uncomfortable, but then when he had to try, I was like, "Fuck this!
Yeah.
This is mean."
But everybody but Catherine Hahn was actually trying to be like
I was
supportive.
gonna say, pro tip: watch Catherine Hahn's face through that entire scene.
it's the best.
So good.
You know,
she hates it so
She's
much.
so pissed.
She's so pissed. Oof. Anyway, I actually, you know what? I'm gonna do an unprecedented thing, and I'm very sorry, and I'm sorry to the listeners, and I'm sorry to you, Christian, and I'm sorry to you, Bon. But I'm gonna go back to the first context, the Vicky
Okay.
Realism Corner. Her being so wildly unsupportive of that bad guitar playing is the most unrealistic thing ever, because there's no way a group of 30 hippies is all just really good at guitar playing. That happens every night.
Right.
I have sat in circles like that of people playing instruments, and people suck.
But
Maybe she's,
it's
like, had
possible
it up
she
to
hates
here.
it. Yeah,
Suck.
that she's
Oh,
over
that's
it.
the breaking point. And we just don't see the build up, the iceberg. We saw the tip, but there was a glacier under there. Okay, fair enough. And we're back.
All right.
Yeah. But decent nitpick.
Yes.
Thank you.
But so then that would have to transition. So maybe whether they could get the rights to Two Princes or not in this musical, he's playing a song and
Yeah.
it's not very good. Seth comes in and it becomes a song starring that like the whole cast gets into,
Yeah.
except of course for George, who still kind of has to just like whatever, and he still tosses to him to do a solo, and it just doesn't work.
Ooh,
and
but
the
it's
whole
in the
thing falls
middle
apart.
of the big number, and then the
Exactly.
whole theater shuts down. Or theater, it's a movie.
So it really,
yeah.
really
Yeah.
like doubles down on the discomfort.
No, that's so sad. I like the idea actually of having a musical number happen while the person who started the musical number is still kind of trying to follow along on guitar, because that's what he does when like Seth starts to really go to town. It's like Paul Rudd's just walking around with his acoustic guitar like trying to find it, and he can't find it.
Yep,
That's so
he's just
sad.
always plunking a wrong note somewhere.
Aw, that's a fun song to do as a musical, and it's a nice character moment for George. What a good musical this movie would
I like
be.
to imagine that at some point when they're doing a group number, Alan Alda is just muttering the names of the people from the original commune in rhythm with whatever song they're doing. It's sort of like an undercurrent
Constantly.
thing. Yeah, constantly.
Could that be a song?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it could, especially because the musical cue could start whenever he mentions
Yep.
1971.
And everybody's just
and
like,
then
"Please-
everybody's like, no. Yeah, they try to like shut it down. Like they go to the pit and they're like, no.
It would have to be a short one where he's listing the names of the
Yeah.
and then like because they would be doing it over and over and over again.
Oh, that would be. Really
I would also
fun.
like the idea of like a dialogue scene happening, and then like very quietly and distantly that music starts playing because he's doing that. He's saying it to somebody else on the over there.
That's really good.
Oh man,
Yay! That bit, it makes me so glad. Jerry Beaver.
Janice
freaking
Wu.
Beaver. And then maybe they all sing it at the end when they're all alive
Yes.
instead of dead.
and what I would like here's what I would do
Yeah.
at the end when all 9 of them.
9, I think it was 9.
I think it was 9. When all of them are together, they all do the song, but they all start with a different name. So they end up. It's just chaos.
It's a round.
Yeah.
but with 9 people.
So it's chaos and terrible.
It's nonsense.
Oh, that's a funny idea. Yeah, because they all have it in their lives. They always do that with their friends. Oh no, that's very good. Ooh. If I could have a spin-off for this one, it would be that group of people.
Yeah.
I want to know what that was like.
What they were doing.
Yeah, what they were up to. What's the villain song in this movie? Because it's not Rick's. Rick is a deterrent, but he's not the villain.
It's
Seth's villain song? Because he's kind of the villain. In the reason.
Well, yeah, him or
because
the
not really the developers. Like they're a threat.
no.
but
Although
they-
there definitely would be a song with the casino guys, and it would be a full big band, Frank Sinatra style,
yeah, like
Yeah.
classic Broadway number.
minor jazz Broadway number with lots
real
of
chintzy, and bright.
Oh yeah.
Dancing and like ripping up the card in a fun way.
Yes, they would rip up so many cards.
So many cards. There's a Kinko's like 13 miles away.
I will come back.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That would be really good. I like them having that like classic big evil corporation vibe in Broadway. What about a montage song when they're kind of getting used to the stuff? Like, I don't know what the lyrics of the song would be or anything, but and I don't remember what the music was like in the movie.
Like when George and Linda are getting used to it.
When George and Linda are kind of settling in, and George isn't, like he's kind of being left out, and Linda's kind of like, actually getting into the vibe and pooping outside and all that stuff. And George is falling off roofs and putting poop on his forehead, I think, at one point. There was a lot of bad things that happened to that man. I know what it is.
Ooh.
It's a musical. They have to say their internal monologue to the audience. So it's like the song not like the song Beauty and the Beast. It's like the song from Beauty and the Beast called There's Something There Wasn't There Before. Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I don't, but
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
So it's a
I'm
back
aware
and
of
forth, and they are separate from each other, and they are both singing the same premise, which is, oh, I'm noticing something interesting about this person that now that I'm getting to know them, I didn't notice before. How fun. It's a very good romance song, actually. I really like that song in Beauty and the Beast. And in this movie, it's more about how, like, they're both having an experience that mirrors, but one of them is not liking it, and the other one
so
is
it's like a
liking
love
it.
song to Elysium.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
like it's a version of that song, but it's about the.
Yeah, or
Basically,
falling out
the-
of love for one of them and falling in love
Yeah.
for the other.
Yeah.
like
But I
that.
think that could be cool. I think that would be interesting. Or it could just be George being bummed about it and being like, I don't think I get this. Like his line is like, I don't think I get this, and Jennifer Aniston's line is like, I finally get this, or
Something like
something
that.
sung simultaneously to
Yeah.
like oppose their experiences. Like I think that would be really effective and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's write it or something. I don't know.
Well, and then there's got to be a song about Belson being a creature of the Beltway.
Oh my god! I cannot wait. 100% Joe Truglio's character has a solo number, and it is the bright spot of the show. It's the show-stopping number. Is him solo, nude, crushing grapes, and like running around.
It's somehow they combine his pursuits into that one song.
Yep.
Like he's writing a novel as he's crushing grapes. Somehow, I don't know.
Yeah, like
he's messy.
He's sitting at a table. He's typing, and then he's underneath the desk.
Oh, yeah, there
he's
you
got
go.
a barrel, like a big barrel of grapes, and he's squishing them with his feet.
He's going to town, and he's got his dangle bag on.
Yep.
Is that what he called it? Oofda.
I'm a nudist. Yeah, we saw your balls earlier.
Touche.
I love the way he says that. Yeah. Okay. So basically, what we're saying is this would be a very weird musical.
It would be good though, I think.
It'd be
because it's a movie that's a lot of fun, and it has a big cast of characters.
Oh, yeah.
And I think most comedies would be good musicals. That's like most big group comedies like this with a lot of personalities, because they're already a little bit over the top. They're already a little bit of a caricature. I think that would really work.
I mean, I don't think that all comedies would be good musicals, mostly because I don't think most musicals are good. But
fair. Would it be easy to turn most comedies into musicals?
it would be easier than I think most dramas.
Yes.
certainly.
Yes. Okay. I will extract the word good from that sentence.
I mean, for most people, whatever. I'm a stick in the mud when it comes to those. Whatever. All right, boys. Let's do another context.
All right.
What were the other characters up to the whole time?
What were the other characters up to the whole time? This one
Janice
actually, for once, works.
Yeah,
Because we
okay.
have a ton of characters.
We gotta start with Janice Wu.
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
has Janice
God,
Wu been
Vaughn.
doing all this time?
Oh my God.
Well, she's in above average health like the rest of them.
Which is fucking nuts.
It's delivered by that newscaster as though they knew. Somehow, it's so funny. Oh, dead. Mostly. All dead. Pretty dead. Actually, surprisingly, all totally fine. We're loving it. Janice Wu. She had a copy of the deed, but she was just, we don't really get to know what her deal is.
Her or any of the other original members? No.
I mean, I feel like one of the guys was like, has been in the mob this whole time. There was that vibe for sure. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, you don't
At
really
least some of them had to go on to work in like tech industries, because I don't know if you're familiar with the history of Silicon Valley's connection to the like 60s hippie culture.
But there's at least one person in there that is a tech giant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or at least a tech, orc.
Employee.
Taller.
Tech orc.
I was trying to think of something that was taller than a human, but not as tall as a giant. And what I came up with was orc. And I
don't know if that's accurate. Are orcs taller or shorter than humans typically? D&D, tell me.
In D&D, taller. I will tell you right now.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm talking to you. What am I saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. But definitely they are.
Yeah.
And in Skyrim, too.
I'm thinking of Warcraft orcs, and they're like,
those are more like dwarf stout type guys.
Yeah.
So they might not be taller than humans.
Other than Janice Wu, there's a million characters that we can talk about.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. We can't. But I just want to say, say what her name is, what her job is.
Yeah.
right.
We just have to decide that.
Okay.
Maybe she was an FBI informant, but like realized these guys were like too incompetent to actually pull any. They weren't actually like a threat to the government or anything by making this.
So like Elysium fully was a cult. Elysium fully was,
and she was an op, and she was in there. Wow.
Then she found out it was like so aimless that it wasn't even worth their time.
I love that.
And that's why she had a deed, is because like she knew that it would be a powerful move. Like maybe there was even a plan to assassinate Alan Alda's character at one point. And then they were like, why? Why would we do this? This guy just lists people's names. Like, this is harmless. Like, we don't need to worry about this.
And she she did pork everyone there, according to Alan
That's
Alda.
true, which is
I don't think he phrased it like
for an
that,
informant to do. No, but he does like pork, as we saw in the diner scene.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's a connective tissue.
It is a connective tissue. Whoops. I think that's true. I think that's there in the text, and I think we've seen it, and we know Janice Wu was an informant. Now, we can move on to other characters.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about Todd Barry's character, Paul
one
Rudd's
is that
friend
guy?
in New York.
Oh, yeah.
We thought it'd be funny to say that there was a job, but there
Which
wasn't.
is like,
I did it as like a prank. Like,
It's
I
like
thought
a
it would
joke.
be
I thought
funny
it'd be
to
funny.
say
Isn't
that
that
there was
funny?
a good job, and there wasn't. God.
So good. It's so fucked up. Because I couldn't determine if they worked at the same company or not.
Was that the character that said, "That's why I'll never get married"?
Yes.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Yep.
I'm gonna die rich and old with a hot wife.
That's right.
Which is getting married, but okay. Maybe he said girlfriend. I don't remember. But that seemed kind of weird. But that character was awesome.
Yeah, that character's ridiculous.
Clearly a role model for me.
He'll probably end up being the most successful one in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's probably fine, right?
Yeah, the thing is, what he's up to is just doing a corporate job and being lonely.
That's
is
fair.
probably what he's up to
Yeah,
while this
that's
movie
fair.
happens, which is important to clarify. I think the point of this context is to maybe hit as many of them as we can and
Sure.
say, hey, what were all the rest of the side characters doing? For example, guy who always agrees with his boss, Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh my God! I don't think she's saying fuck the Penguins. No, I am fuck the Penguins. And you know what? I gotta do, but I gotta agree with her.
I gotta agree with her. Fuck him. He pulls that off so well, and I think what that guy is doing is making that HBO show
about the sexy, penguin vampires.
I think he's like, no, actually, that could be good. I know you're joking right now, but
that could be good.
But that could actually be good for us.
I love that the movie's streaming on HBO Max now.
Yep. Yeah. When they kept bringing up HBO, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Do they know?
Are they aware?
Do they know? I think that he makes that show and does really well.
Yeah, I love that.
That's my dream for him.
Yes.
I love that idea. Or it's a massive failure and it ruins his career.
Also possible. He does seem sycophantic in a way that
and his boss, she fully throws him under the bus.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
under
cheap,
so
yeah.
many buses.
Yep.
Maybe under a actual bus to kill him.
Maybe.
This is the Ari
Maybe.
Aster cut now.
We don't know. Yeah.
Well, we do know Catherine Hahn makes hummus.
Hummus.
We know a lot of their day to day, which is kind of a fun part of this movie is that everybody's almost always on screen because there's group shots constantly because that's the whole point of the whole thing. So here's an idea that I have. We know at the end of the movie that Alan Alda sneaks away every Sunday to go eat meat. What does everybody else sneak away to do?
Oh, assuming that everyone sneaks away with their own thing. Yeah,
no one is as pure as they represent themselves at Elysium. Everybody's sneaking away to do something.
All right.
What are they doing? I think Catherine Hahn is into shooting guns.
That would be
I
very
think she goes
Yep.
to a shooting range and she shoots big guns.
Yeah. I
the biggest she can.
It's tough though because she's the one who gets really upset
But
when he kills
that's
the
why.
fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She loves them. She on principle will never shoot anyone, but she loves a gun.
Okay, she just
that's
likes the
thing.
sensation.
But she can't have that as a part of her identity because she's a pacifist that hates
Sure,
violence and she can't do it. Yeah, I think
That's
she goes to
perfect.
shooting ranges and she just goes to town because she's got a lot of anger in there.
Oh, she certainly
got
does.
a lot
That's
of
very
anger
true.
in there. Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay,
one.
that's a very good one. I think Jordan Peele's character gets away to look at porn on the internet
Yeah,
because he loves titties.
yeah. He
Everybody
does.
knows.
Everybody knows he loves titties. That's true.
Because they've seen a search history.
That's true. And I think the shame of that is not that he looks at porn, but somehow that other people aren't enough for him.
Yeah,
because
or that-
everyone's titties are out a lot.
Right, or it's
fine.
he goes to the library and uses their internet. It's the only they don't have internet at Elysium, so he goes to the library and looks at porn.
Aw. Oh no, that poor man.
I know. And then he can't do it now that he crashed that car into the lake.
That's why he needed the car.
Yeah, that's why he needed the car.
Trucks in Town was a red
It
herring.
was a smokescreen.
Well, trucks in town is actually a euphemism for I really need to get off right now.
Okay.
Hey, the truck's in town. It's like the train's coming down the tunnel when you have to poop. The truck's in town is I have something inside me that needs to come outside of me.
Yeah,
Which is how I say it
yeah.
when I'm horny.
we've all
I
heard
have
this.
something inside of me that needs to come outside of me. David,
Wait.
it has to come outside of me.
Oh no. I hate that. What about
What's Malin Ackerman's character's name?
Ava?
Ava.
Yeah.
Ava. Yeah, what that character is kind of a boring. Like,
yeah.
there really isn't anything there, which is a disappointment, kind of a little bit. So we can put it there though.
I'd imagine that there has to be more to her than we see in the movie.
Maybe she's an informant now.
Oh, maybe.
I like this.
She did say she was from she was from the big city.
Exactly. And she definitely has less of a hippie vibe than the rest of them. Like, she does yoga and stuff. But like, she still seems like she puts on a lot of makeup every day, which is odd.
It seems from her conversations that the sexual portion of the whole experience is the main reason she's there.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, a liberated human being in a space that allows for that liberation is great.
Absolutely, as long as everyone's consenting,
and
it doesn't
she
matter.
does a really good job of that.
Yeah,
like really good job.
She is very respectful of boundaries and consent.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Maybe not verbal boundaries, because she does.
That's true.
Go in deep on the different things she would do to Paul Rudd if she could.
Yeah, it's definitely. But it doesn't just start doing them.
Right.
Which is a level, which is nice.
And doesn't like pressure him like you know.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. She was just like, "Hey, I would like to do this. What do you think?" Like, no, you take your time. Yeah, it's cool. Whatever.
Talk to Linda. Think about being inside of me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Think about being inside of me. That is, yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's an informant.
Well, I was gonna say she could be doing all the sex to just prove to people she's not wearing a wire.
Like, she says that at one point during sex, like, "Oh man, I have no clothes on right now and nothing's taped to my body."
Here's my idea.
Ready.
She is a part-time real estate agent, and she will occasionally occasionally leave the colony behind and do something extremely normal and boring.
Yep.
And then her way of like living is getting back to Elysium and just fucking everyone. Like, just fucking everyone. And then the next day, she puts on her pantsuit, goes into town, and sells a nice bungalow.
Sells a nice bungalow. I totally buy that. Yeah. She's got that vibe.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Because she's also very friendly.
Yes.
She seems very approachable.
Yeah. Well spoken.
Yeah.
Willing to negotiate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think she straight up has real estate agent vibes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird. Yeah. Huh. That would be a fun way to introduce it too. Like, if they're going later into like they're finally putting a down payment on like a different, more manageable house for them, and then she's there, like Ava's there, like selling a house to someone else, and looks over and like has to hide or something in the background.
That would be
like,
very fun.
It's a fun way to introduce that, because real estate plays a major part in this.
That
movie.
is true.
Like,
that
is
is true.
A big part.
Well, it's one of those things that you don't really think about until you say it, but a lot of movies really just revolve around paperwork and whether or not you have it.
Yep. Isn't that fun?
Isn't that fun?
There are other side characters in this movie.
Oh, so many.
Do we want to talk about what they're up to the entire time?
Wayne, we know he's probably the busiest guy at Elysium because between his wine and his writing,
he's constantly doing something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's moving around. He's talking to everybody.
Yeah.
He's hosting a conference.
The wine nudists
of wine nudists.
Incredible. I was so happy for him.
So good.
Busy man.
Like Joel Truglio is so happy in this movie. I love his character. He's just so genuinely nice.
I always want him to win.
So fucking funny.
Yeah, so he's an easy one. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
What about...
Okay, what is Seth doing when he's not on screen?
Seth is the big one that I think we have to figure out.
Because he probably doesn't sneak away because he's so oblivious to so many aspects of culture outside of this colony.
And if that's not an act,
if it's not an act.
Right.
If we take him at his word on that, at least.
Could be a game.
Because you'd think he would at least have some more modern references, like from within the 2 decades before.
It's pretty wild.
If he goes to like an arcade in town and that's what he's up to,
that would be very fun.
An arcade. Yeah,
it's a retro arcade that actually has a Nintendo Power Glove.
Right, but it also has like a Xbox 360 with Call of Duty. And he's like really good at it.
He's just fucking killing 12-year-olds on the internet in Call of Duty.
His KD ratio is insane.
I think a lot of his time is primal gesticulation.
Yeah. Well, and he sleeps out. He sleeps out in that place in the woods.
He does. That is where he takes his slumber.
That's where he takes his slumber. But because that's so separate from everyone else, he could just fuck off and like maybe he stays at like a fucking hotel or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got his own place that he doesn't pay for. Maybe it's like he's living in someone's basement or he sleeps in someone's basement.
Like he has a relative in town or something.
Exactly.
I think
See, the thing is like with Seth, the reason I take him at his word is the $11,000 thing.
exactly
Yeah.
Because he only takes $11,000. It's clear that he doesn't understand that inflation has happened.
Yeah.
Right. So what could he be going to do? Party drugs at a club.
Okay.
That's what he goes to do. He goes and he like rave culture is what he's into.
Okay.
Yes, so I think I was trying to think of the reason that Seth would sneak off in the middle of the night. I think Seth has a boundary set up. Like the reason he sleeps out in the woods is because he's like, no doors, whatever, but I need my space, is his like argument for it. And it seems like he's not the leader, but everybody kind of respects him as the leader, but it's like technically a collective like anarchist thing where nobody's the leader, but he is the leader. And so I think they let him have a metaphoric door by saying like nobody disturbs Seth while he's asleep. And then Seth goes to the nearest town, city, hopefully, probably not town. Goes to just a small town rave. That sounds dangerous.
Small town raves are the
Small town
best.
raves. Yeah, that's true. The littler the better.
In a
That's what they
barn.
say about raves.
And penises.
True. About both of those things, they say that. Small town penis is the best.
Small town penis won't blow your away.
That is the best hold steady joke anyone has ever made. That's it. Shut it down.
That is probably the most Minnesota thing we've ever done on this podcast. I also like to think though that maybe he's doing that. Maybe he's also sneaking off to a gym because I
to
get
get jacked.
He's
He's
like
pretty jacked.
fucking cut.
Yeah,
he's
he's
sculpted.
That sweater
There's
that
no
he
way
wears,
he's
dang,
doing that in the middle of
I
the woods
wanted
by
to.
himself
I
with just
would've,
body weight
yeah.
exercises.
No, that's a very good point.
He goes to a
Yeah, he goes
specialized
to a
gym. He's got like a trainer.
Drinks
and
like
shit.
protein
got a-
shakes
yeah.
and like, oh shit.
He's got a capoeira trainer.
He's got a capoeira instructor, and he
my
does
God.
that specifically so that he can remain sexy and sleek and
Yep,
like
yep, yep, yep.
cool for all the ladies at the
Oh my
Elysium.
God.
But he doesn't want them to see how much work it takes to maintain.
Right.
it.
He's like, this is just my natural body. I'm just the coffee pot for my soul, like, or whatever his idea is. That's good. That's really good. He works out. That's his secret.
Yeah, maybe that's the nitpicky realism corner for this movie is
how he gets so
how the
cut.
fuck is he so fucking swole when he is eating it seems like pretty shitty vegetables.
Yeah. There's not a lot. No, they mentioned like bean paste a couple times.
Yeah.
Maybe he eats all the placentas from the babies that are born.
God, the placenta.
That gets you pretty big.
A lot of nutrients.
Yeah.
so many nutrients.
My God.
Speaking of nutrients, boys, we did it.
Hey,
We did a whole episode of Contextual Deviants about Wanderlust.
One whole episode of
Yeah.
Contextual Deviants about
What?
Wanderlust.
Crazy.
I never thought we'd get here.
I know. I didn't think we could do it, but we did it. We talked about the movie Wanderlust in several different contexts, some of which I remember. I know we did one about distinctive directors where we determined what this movie would look like if Ari Aster
We
made
sure
it.
did. We also made it a musical, or we tried to.
We certainly tried.
we found out what all the other characters were doing.
We sure did. And then there was the first one.
Yeah,
There was, and guess what that was?
What was that?
Frickin' nitpicky realism.
Oh,
corner,
the
baby.
nitpicky realism. I just said it. I just said it like a minute ago.
And we referenced it multiple times.
Yeah. It's like the first time we've referenced another context so many times.
And I still couldn't fucking remember.
Hey,
I
you know
couldn't
what?
either.
That's our specialty, baby.
Man, I can't believe it. Well, this has been a great time. Thank you so much for listening. We just got a few more things before we close the show out, and I would like to start with Bond. Do you have anything you would like to plug?
No, but I would like to share something that I've been watching. It's a little show called DuckTales.
Ooh, woo, woo.
Yes. It's the new one, the new reboot with David Tennant and all the funny people.
Oh, there's so many
All
funny
funny
people.
people.
Like it's so great. Paget Brewster as Della Duck is mwah. But anyway, it's just a really delightful, happy, friendly family show that like anybody can enjoy, and it's so goofy and silly, and it'll just kind of warm your heart. And it's all done now, so it has a 3 seasons, and the last 3 episodes kind of wrap up as a movie. And it is a delight for the senses. And that's all I got. David, how about you?
DuckTales.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I think that you should, if you want, you could check out my other show. It's called Hypotheticast. It's not my other show. It's our other show.
It's your other show to us.
It's with jokes in it and stuff, and we talk about some hypothetical scenarios, much like you might expect in a show called The Frickin' Hypotheticast.
The frickin' Hypotheticast.
We tried that one. It was copyrighted. The Frickin' Hypotheticast.
Yeah,
is copyrighted.
I remember making a logo for that.
So we just did the regular Hypotheticast, and then we shaved the regular part off the front of it. You can listen to that if you want, or like, I don't know. I think what I should plug is growing one plant. I'm not telling you to go start a garden. I'm not telling you to like grow food. Grow one. Just do one. Because once you do one, you get it. And you're like, oh, I could do this for 2.
It's like tattoos.
Yeah, it is like tattoos.
No.
Actually,
I mean, you also can not do that if you don't want to.
Oh, thank God.
I have a friend that just offered me 2 baby plants, and I'm going to take her up on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It is one of the things you have to be okay with them dying.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. It's like when you buy a rat or a fish. You're like, listen, this is a fragile little guy and I might kill it. And you just have to be okay with that because that's part of it. But you will learn something from that. And then the next time you buy a little baby plant from your friend or get a little baby plant from your friend, you will be a little better at it maybe if you want.
That's also the advice I give to new parents.
Yeah, you know what? You might kill it, and that's cool. You'll make another one.
You'll just learn from it.
And it'll slide out so much faster. So that's my plug is grow a plant somewhere. Maybe even outside in the actual ground. Because that's kind of fun.
I mean, it's coming up on summer.
It's coming up on summer, and I'm coming up on plants. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Double
There's
down,
something
David.
inside
Double
me,
down.
and I need it to come outside.
Onto plants.
Onto plants. They need it. It's what plants crave. Christian,
Yeah?
tell me.
What?
Plug.
Oh. I'll tell you, plug.
Thank you.
I would like to plug, I have several playlists on Spotify. I know that's not cool for most people, but I spend a lot of time doing it, so it's on there for free. Just look up my name, Christian Hagen, on Spotify, and eventually you'll probably find something. But as far as a piece of pop culture I would like to recommend, there is a series on Amazon. It's an animated series called Undone. It is a very unique show.
Okay.
It is rotoscoped animation in the sort of way of like a Scanner Darkly, those kind of things.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
And it is it's about a young woman who is deaf, who has a cochlear implant, and she is experiencing some mental health disturbances after an accident.
Ooh.
And starts seeing visions of her dead father, played by Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, that guy, just like the dad in the Little Women.
Yeah, it's the dad from
He's
Little
the
Women.
dad
Exactly.
now.
He's the dad from that. Without the mutton chops, unfortunately.
Never mind. I'm not watching it.
But here's what I'll say: if you want to watch it, first off, it's an adult. It's not. I don't want an adult like show. I don't mean adult show like it's porn. I mean adult show like it's a show that deals with a lot of thorny themes and a lot of swearing and stuff.
Thorny is just horny with a T.
God damn it! You're so right. You're so fucking right. I've been saying this.
I've been saying.
But yes, what I would recommend is if you want to watch this show, how I experienced it was the first episode. I got to the end and thought, why is this animated? The second episode, I got to the end and thought, I know why this is animated.
Okay.
Where are they going with this?
Interesting.
So I recommend watching at least the first 2. That'll give you a sense of both the look and sort of vibe of the show.
Cool.
And then from there on, stuff just gets increasingly weird. But it's got a great cast. The lead actress is actually the woman who played Alita Battle Angel.
Whoa.
So presumably someday she'll be able to show her face on screen without it being like animated over.
insane.
Destroyed in some way.
It's so weird.
Wow.
She's really good.
Huge eyes. That's all I have. That leaves us with one question. But before we get to that, thank you so much for listening. All the info about our stuff, our social and stuff, and we are so happy to be able to record in the same room again.
Mm-hmm.
We're so excited to be able to bring you the fresh sound that comes from us being all in the same space. You know, I just, I'm so happy.
Ugh.
I'm so happy. Ugh.
Gross. I hate
Love it.
Yuck. It's so good. In the meantime, I have one final question that I have to ask, and it's the first time I've gotten to ask this in the same room as you in quite a while, so I'm going to make it real special. David, did you have any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
How does the judge pioneer the chubby thunder?
Thank you for listening to Contextual Deviants. You can find more information about us online at our website, contextualdeviants.wordpress.com. You can tweet at us at textdeviants. You can email us at contextualdeviants@gmail.com. Thanks to Minneapolis' own The Bad Man for the use of their song Gun Tonic off the album Ain't Clean. This has been Contextual Deviants. My name is Christian Hagen, and have a nice day. Have a nice day!